Child, I didn't know that thing was still going on over there. That's my fault. Okay, I'm back. I did not know that was going on over there, child. I thought I was done. This is the juicy part that's happening over there on the premieres of it all. Let me do one thing while I'm here. Let me go here. YouTube Studio. Let's create a post. Let's tell everybody we live. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being on time. And all of that. I'm going to select on through for a live discussion. I don't want this one. Video. This one. Post. All right. Needed to get that out here and get what's going on. That is going on. How's everybody? Let me turn this down a little bit. How y'all doing? How your mama and them doing? How your daddy and them doing? Hey. I'm doing all right. I'm here. Hey, Kim, how are you? Hey, Melinda, thanks for being here so much. Welcome. Yes, please go on and hit that like button. It's not going to cost you anything to hit that like button on the way in. Also, let people know that we're live and let them know we are having grown folk talk. Matter of fact, let me let my baby daddy know. Lord have mercy. Somebody texted me talking about, hey, Tommy, have a nice evening. Child. You know what? That's going to be all right. I'm going to let everybody, I'm going to start sending out SMSs. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Hello. Simone, how are you, darling? Hello there, Dreamcatchers. Hello, Shiny. Hey. You doing just one, you living life one day at a time. All right. Oh, we been exhausted. Lord have mercy. No, not exhausted. Hey, live in the moment. Hey. Okay, let people know that we here. Yeah, I'm still claiming the birthday queen. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be the birthday queen for a while. So y'all might as well just get used to it. When I decide to take the birthday queen moniker down, that's when I will relinquish the crown. Actually, I won't relinquish the crown. I'll just not go by the name birthday queen. I did enjoy my birthday. Yes, I did. Hello, Coach Leslie. How you doing? Kirk, how's it going, my man? I haven't seen you in 2 months of Sundays. How are you doing? Okay, guys. I want folks to come on in the room. So let everybody know that we are live. I think I put it out on the Twitters of it all. They should know on Facebook that we live. I think the only place that I don't know, that I don't believe is out here. Let me see if I can post it on the Instagrams of it all. That'd just be irritating my soul. Never mind. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Simone. Okay, gotcha. Listen, I know about that schedule change. Okay, gang. We are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, and that means forever. And that's a mighty long time, but I'm here to tell you. Anyway, there's something else, the afterworld. So, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Last night at the situation of it all, we went to, so my daughter took me to Hamburger Mary's, which is dinner and a drag show. Now, if y'all are sensitive to such subjects, plug your ears for a moment. Earmuffs. Dinner and a drag show. And it's called a place called Hamburger Mary's. If you follow me on Instagram, there are some photographs up there now. I'm going to be putting some more photos and some video that I can put up without getting copyright struck. And we had a ball. I had a blast. But last night what I was drinking was a drink that's called Purple Rain. So I've been in my Prince mode for now 24 hours. And let me tell you something. That Purple Rain drink was off the charts. Do y'all want to know what's in it? Because I took a picture. Let me tell you what's in that Purple Rain drink. Y'all don't act like y'all don't want to know. Y'all want to know. I know y'all want to know. It was amazing. And I'm not normally a clear liquor kind of gal. In Purple Rain, Pearl Plum Vodka, Grape Pucker, and Sprite. Pearl Plum Vodka, Grape Pucker, and Sprite. And then they had some grape Twizzlers in there, with the hole in the middle, so you could use the darn Twizzlers as a straw. Baby, when I tell you that drink is dangerous, but it put me in my Prince mode. It was amazing. So that will be my drink for the rest of the summer. Trust and believe. Hey, Jen. Hey, I did have an amazing birthday. Thank you very much. Absolutely yummy. Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to have to put I'll put the recipe as soon as I work through it. I'll put the recipe through on the community page and on Instagram. So we're going to make them together and have fun. All right, let's get down to the gets. So, hang on, let me... Trying to get Chocolate Earth over here too. So thank you for watching. Those of you that got a chance to watch the podcast that I dropped, thanks for watching. I will, it's up for replay. So guys, go and take care of that. Watch that after we get done here. It's only 30 minutes, so you'll be able to get through it pretty quick. I'm trying to do shorter podcasts, guys, because I have a tendency to go long. But interestingly enough, after I got done recording said podcast, I began to think about and reflect about the three things that I have learned, that I've had reflected about as a result of turning 54. And I recognize that all of them really had something mainly to do with judgmentalism that I'm seeing that's permeating. And we're going to talk a lot about the spiritual sector and judgmentalism permeating that. But I am also saying that this, to me, it just goes across the board. It just goes across the board. So for those of you that haven't listened to it yet, spoiler alert, but you'll still want to listen to it. There's a few things that as I reflected on the last year, and especially in my own spiritual, professional, and purposeful growth, I kind of picked up on. One was the fact that I recognize that there are labels. I just don't really jive with the labels, and I don't follow the label directions. Now you got to go to the podcast to get a little bit. And I mean, I suppose I could play some of it here. There wouldn't be anything wrong with me playing my own ish. But you have to go to the podcast, get a little bit of that. And I'll try to put some timestamps in there so you know where to go. That being said, we all have certain labels, right? And there are labels that we actually put on ourselves or we adopt as we're coming into this spirit world of spirituality, right? And, you know, there's terms some of y'all never heard of, like before, like light worker or star seed, or, you know, what's all this awakening stuff going on, and ascension and astral travel and this, that, and the other. There's a lot of things that we do that we really did now that some of y'all are very familiar with that you weren't familiar with not that long ago. It was not part of your vocabulary. Therefore, it was not a title that you adopted for yourself. I agree, Kirk. So that's what we're getting to. So there are certain things that we adopt, right? Because of different places that we're at. But what I'm finding very quickly, and I've seen this for a while, guys, but I don't know if you've seen this. I'm gonna drop the link in a second here. I'm seeing, like, among this great big expanse of the term light worker, I'm seeing lines of demarcation, and we've been talking about this the last couple times I've gotten on here, I think. I'm very uncomfortable with the fact and disappointed in the fact that I'm seeing various folks come up and basically be like, I'm right, this is my way or the highway, and not and being condescending, unwilling to understand the human condition, downright rude, and basically starting to attempt to make fifth dimensional, higher dimensional living and ascension an actual religion. I think that's the best way I can describe it. There seems to be a structure, or people are attempting to put a structure in place that makes this, that feels very religious to me. It feels very Sadducee and Pharisee. It feels very hypocritical. It feels very, look at me, I'm the guru, I know it all, and anybody that says anything else is full of crap. I mean, there are some people out here that are basically saying that they are the only ones that can channel specific star race beings. They're the only ones that these star race beings speak to. Like, what? I mean, that's tantamount, for those of you that don't really know anything about that kind of scene, that's tantamount to somebody coming out and saying, I'm the only one on the whole entire earth that can channel Archangel Michael. The only one. I'm the only one that Jesus will speak to during a church service across the entire globe. I'm it. Can you imagine somebody getting up here anywhere? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, Locals, Truth Social, Reddit, Discord, I'm trying to name all, Twitch, Patreon, Rumble, TikTok. Can you imagine somebody getting on a social media platform today and saying that they are the only one that speaks to the angels? Right? So that's what I'm seeing. And these people have huge followings. But what ends up coming out of that then is a set of rules and regulations where unless you do this, you won't get this. Well, that sounds a lot like, unless you do this, you won't get to heaven. Unless you do that, you can't get to heaven. If you do this, you're going straight to hell. If you do this, then you are not going to ascend. This is problematic. And it's not just even in relationship to the jab. I'm going to take it even outside of this spirituality realm, where if you don't believe and behave a certain way, or you don't say the certain words that you're supposed to say if you're melanated, or you're supposed to say if you're Caucasian, or you're supposed to say if you're at a white Anglo-Saxon American, or whatever, or you're part of the medical community, or you're a trucker, or you're this, or you're that. If you don't say exactly what you're supposed to say, whatever the prevailing winning groupthink is at that time, you're canceled. You're ridiculed. You're kicked out of the commune. Well, let me tell you something. I find that it's worse on the left. Because if I were to right now sit here and tell you all of the things that were positive about what that man did, you might look at me, maybe not you, but in general, the general population will look at me like I'm crazy. If I were to tell you all the good things he did, all the good things I felt that Obama did, if I were to go back down throughout all of the presidents, the ones that I very well have been conscious of, and that this dates all the way back to, even though I couldn't have voted for him, all the way back to Jimmy Carter. Like, I was a youngin' when the hostage crisis happened back during Jimmy Carter days. So that's how far my memory goes back. I had to be 7 or 8 maybe. Yeah, but I have vivid memories of that. I even have some memories at about 4-ish, I think. Nixon was in office. We had just moved off the gold standard. There was an onto fiat. So instead of the dollar being backed by gold, it was now backed by futures or trading based on fossil fuels or oil. And there were horrible shortages, mass problem. Like, people were lined up for miles and miles to try to get gas. Inflation was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, almost as high as it is now. I have vivid memories of that. So I can go back to and find good in every president. Why? Because I can look at things from a neutral position. That's part of what I was talking about during that thing, was looking at it. I don't think he did. I think that I don't think he's the one that's riled up the wrong people. And I think I can prove it. I think I can prove that. This is why I'm talking about this, especially from a spiritual standpoint. And I'm hoping if we can grab it here from the spiritual standpoint, we can bring it into our everyday lives. There's so many layers to why people do things what they do. And there's so many different puppeteers behind the scenes. There's so many nuances behind certain things. If it's not being done with an altruistic motive, a truly pure motive, truly, I don't even want to say altruistic, a truly pure motive. So unless the individual or the group is truly in service of others, with a minor in service to self, because you should always be in service to self. But unless the group, loosely created or not, because that's what's happened now. I'm going to go back to the spirituality just for a second. And this kind of goes through everything. And there's all these kind of loose groups. And when I say loose groups, I mean there's not been any like group, there's not been any like bylaws set, nothing's been incorporated, no like formal structure, there's not a formal leader, you know what I'm saying? But there's all these understood rules to the game. There's all these understood codes of conduct if you want to be a member of the group. And as these like very nebulous, I call them in the podcast, mythological groups get set up, what ends up happening is it causes division. How does it cause division? Well, it causes division because each now have these different, even though there's not a true label here, there's an undercurrent of a label. I'm going to tie this all back together to the labels. So there's some that say if you're a light worker and you're ascended, you won't go get the jab. If you're a light worker and you're ascended, then you must be politically leaning right. If you're a light worker, and I'm not kidding. If you're a light worker and ascended, then you by definition, then absolutely have to trust in this. Absolutely have to be against Roe v. Absolutely have to be pro-life, absolutely have to be this, absolutely have to be that. And if you're not that, there are some very vocal people that will berate you and that will talk about you like a dog, and that will disparage your name and basically tell their hundreds of thousands and almost millions of listeners and followers that you are basically a false prophet or false prophetess. Whoa, I don't know who died and made them king or queen. Then you have another faction that's like, well, no, that's not the case, because if you were really like ascended and really cared about service to self, then you would have, taken a jab or worn your mask, or you wouldn't be speaking this way, or you wouldn't be doing this way, right? You wouldn't have any right-leaning ability, like thoughts or anything. Like they're all the way over here. And so if you're doing this, then you're a false prophet. And anybody from either side, when I come in and present as neutral, they look at me and they're immediately starting to get judgy. Immediately. Immediately. And I'm like, why are we getting judgy? Like, I'm willing to have a dialogue and a discourse. More than happy to. But what we can't do, if we're ever going to truly foster unity, is we can't judge one another. And if I have a different point of view than you, and you have a different point of view than me, I really just want to enter into the discourse, because I'm always looking to learn. I can't do that with people that aren't willing to listen, though. You cannot expand your consciousness if you're not willing to expand your consciousness. What do I mean by that? You can't begin to expand your consciousness if you are just wanting to stay in a tunnel vision. And I'm not saying anybody listening to me right now is wanting to stay tunnel vision. So don't nobody get offended. Nobody get offended. I'm here to expand. That's what I'm here for. Let's just expand. I am a catalyst for quantum creation. So let's go for it. Let's expand our consciousness into another realm beyond what all these other people are doing. And maybe we can actually lead the way. So the first step in not being judgy, to me, judgmental, and why I think there's been a spirit of judgment that has taken over, is the first step is being open to having a conversation. Right? I find truth in both republic. Absolutely. I don't know. I believe you. Right. There are aspects in falsehood. Absolutely. Greetings, LaShane. I don't care what someone does. I'll provide them with the knowledge that it's their decision to do what they will. I'm with you on that. And if we can maintain that. Oh, bye, Kirk. Thank you for coming, honey. Thank you. If we can maintain that attitude, session. Now, hopefully, this will go both places. Good. If we can maintain that attitude, then that's fine. But but it's the problem becoming in when we can't. So we got to be willing to have the conversation and be willing to hear opposing points of view and opposing information that is beyond the scope of which we have previously considered. But what I'm getting from the spiritual and the woke and the awakened community, and I'm seeing it a lot, is this super judgy BS, right? Of, oh, you don't think like that? Oh, that's not what you believe. Oh. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, let me tell you something. And I don't mean to keep going back to this being political, but what happened from like 2020 to late 2019 on, what happened was that all of a sudden spirituality got hijacked. Oh boy, can we have this talk tonight? Can we all be grown people and have this talk tonight? Can we have this talk tonight? It was fabulous, Courtney. Thank you. When you think you learned it all, a new book gets released. Amen to that, child. Sometimes the old books get re-released that were trying to be kept from us. Listen, so we're going to have this talk. I'm going to be real about this. And again, this is no offense to nobody. You could choose to take offense if you want to, but that, again, is your choice. Honestly, I'm presenting this in nothing but love. Spirituality got hijacked by Christianity. Spirituality got hijacked by one form of what is termed patriotism. And I say one form that is termed patriotism as I'm talking about that. Hey girl, hey. Welcome to the platform, Chocolate Earth.
Hello. How are you, birthday queen?
Listen,
did we turn up? I see you. You got that after party look. I got you.
I got that. I'm about to get in trouble look.
Yes. Let's get in trouble. I am ready. Can y'all hear my... Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, I can hear you, baby. You're fine.
Okay.
What I was saying as I let you up was that during late 2019 and then into 2020 and then on through the election period, spirituality got hijacked to a big degree by Christianity and by what some people would call one type or level of patriotism. And the reason why I say one type or level of patriotism is because I really do still love my country. That might not be in vogue for someone of my skin tone and hue to say that, but I really do still love my country. May I decide at some point to move from here? I might, but that will be because of various things. But, you know, there's a level of patriotism that I think, I feel, in my humble opinion, has deified 45 and made it like he's the second coming of Christ. Now I said it. If y'all want to get mad, but hear me out. This is why. Because if you're continuing in your religious practice to solely look for a savior outside of yourself, and you continue to say that you are incapable of reaching certain heights or getting into certain ethereal places and spaces without believing this one singular way, you are going to deify people or perceptions, quasi-deify them, if you will. Now, both sides do this. It's just they deify different things.
Exactly.
I look at climate change or environmental or what that virtue signaling, this SJW false woke BS.
Right. Oh,
that's
girl,
a
let's
religion
go.
all unto itself.
I completely agree with you. And that was why the other day we were having that. You were having your quick birthday conversation. The fact that you can have both. I think this is where we have a problem. It can be the truth and it can be a lie at the same time.
Yep.
I was having a conversation with my sister because I was on a panel. What was that? The other night? Is that Friday? Saturday? I can't remember. Where the conversation was, are Latin women taking our black men, right?
Why are we still having this conversation? We
had
this conversation
listen,
okay,
right?
Okay,
exactly. No. That's my thing, girl. I always say, listen. No, it's okay. See, I don't have good lighting. I get on camera, but I look like let me see what I can do. Cause see, y'all want people to see my face. Cause I'm on something different tonight. Let me tell you something. Okay, don't. Oh wait, I'm trying to get the camera to work. Right, okay, there we go. Okay.
All right now.
I'm in here. You can see it. Here it is. Okay, let's go. What ended up happening?
Oh no, we lost her. She'll be back. She'll be back, y'all. Just internet glitch. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the problem. When we have these labels and we get these factions and we're always, what group do you fit into? What group is it you fit into? Then all of a sudden, you got to go by what the bylaws and whatever's happening here. And so when there's another group that could be potentially infringing on your group, now all of a sudden it's the Crips and the Bloods, and now we got a problem. Go ahead, baby. What they was talking about with these Hispanic women and taking on
girl, listen. So I sat there and I wasn't gonna get on. And then there was a lot of other black women who got on and they was just going off asking, because a young lady said, I'm not black, but I have dated black men. My daughter is of that culture as well. So I waited and then I was like, I'm gonna go on up here. And when when I got the mic, I said, are we really having this conversation still? First off, you can't steal nothing that want to walk away. These are grown men. We want to act like these are impressionable children. These are grown men in the same society as us. I said, we should be talking about how are we going to keep ourselves safe? How are we going to spiritually build? How are we going to build our communities? How are we going to take care of our elderly and our children? We want to keep playing this patty cake baloney like that's going to some kind of way make the black community better, or any community for that matter. I don't care who you date. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care about your gender. I care nothing of those things. Because when it all comes down to it, we all need the same thing. We need to be in a world that offers peace and tranquility, and the fact that we need harmony to function. Because if we don't, nothing will be left but ruins.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I am overwhelmingly full. Like I don't care anymore about these silly, excuse my language, silly ass conversations that black women get wrapped up in when they ain't got nothing else to do.
Right.
There is so many things to worry about, and worrying about whether or not another human being within our culture, because when the young lady said, I'm not black, and so another lady said, well, she said she wasn't black. I said, and she's not. I said, black is a culture. It is a state of being. It is not a race in that sense.
Well, no, in any sense, because I'm just going to drop this little bit of wisdom. So if y'all better catch it. Listen,
Let's go.
The reason why we ain't been able to get reparations is because we run around here calling ourselves Black, when legally we should be either calling ourselves, believe it or not, Negro, Moor, or Indigenous.
Exactly.
People.
I agree.
We are legally not, by the laws that they set up, we are legally not referring to ourselves as something, because now all of a sudden we've allowed ourselves to find it offensive, or we don't want to believe that we're actually from this damn
exactly
continent. So this is why I don't even go by the label. So when people are like, when I'm like, don't call me, I do not refer to myself as disenfranchised, or what's the latest one? It's not underprivileged. It's something else.
Oppressed? Are you oppressed?
No, I'm not oppressed. I'm not oppressed. I'm not depressed. I'm not distressed.
No, that's right.
Okay. So I don't refer to myself by any of those labels. Why? Because like I said in my podcast, with those labels and those words comes a frequency and an energy. And if you keep speaking it over yourself, your body will reproduce or produce the product of the creation of that frequency, or the materialization.
You can pass it on.
Of that. You will internalize it in your own being, and then it just gets permeated everywhere. Now, but I say those words as I'm calling out and saying, I hear you. I get it. I get that.
Right.
So if you're oppressed, depressed, distressed, it's not disenfranchised. It's something else. And it's not even disadvantaged. That's how much I can't stand the damn word.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is what I said. I ended up being on this man's live so long, we shut it down. We was the last people to leave. And it was because I think I have been told the majority of my life that my words don't matter. My words don't matter because I'm a woman. My words don't matter because I'm a woman of color. My words don't matter because I may be poor, or I may not have these XYZ. You can, that's it. She got it. Marginalized. Hey!
I knew somebody would have it from it. Yes. I am not marginalized.
And what was interesting was everybody got quiet when I said, during the height of us all being inside, people of color managed to spend $1.6 trillion in this country.
Did y'all hear that? We spent 1.6 trillion.
1.6 trillion. You can Google that right now. It's going to be under, I think, Reuters or Forbes or one of those, but you can Google it, right? When I brought that up, I said, imagine what we could do as a collective. And I'm not talking about just identifying as Black. I'm talking about as a collective of people who want better than what is out here. And everybody doesn't have the, I'm going to use my mom's word, wherewithal to go out and fight for what they want. So what's wrong with reaching our hands back and to the side so that we can do better? Our children, what are we leaving for them? Spiritually, mentally, physically, we have done nothing but sit and complain. And like you said earlier, let me point my finger at you because you want to go a different path, instead of going, hey, how can I get on that path? Or can you assist me in this path so that I too can do better and be enlightened or be on another level within myself, which will also affect my community? It got real quiet.
Because that's why I titled this as The Spirit of Judgment Taking Over.
Yes.
Because we're spending so much time judging one another for
Hey.
our opinions
Yes.
or how we choose to live our lives, how we're living our lives, or
Mm-hmm.
if we decide to say, hey, listen, I'm not gonna be on this train with y'all. Like, if
Right.
y'all want to be on this train, that's y'all business. I
Go by
mean,
all
I
means.
can't say that. But as for me, I mean, there used to be a time where it was okay to say, as for me in my house. As for me in my house, we're gonna go over there and we're gonna do this. Because
Exactly.
this is working for me. You live your damn life the way you want to. I'm not saying anything about it.
Exactly. And you don't
Stop
do
judging me.
anything without another person. My conversation with, like, for instance, I was telling another young lady, we were talking, I said, everything that we have, we benefit from another human being's creation.
Mm-hmm.
All of this setup, the constructs, the technology, the money, everything is
Uh-huh.
a construct that humans have
Yep.
created. So
Right.
why do we sit here and act like we are not our own masters of creation? We've been given that gift to do
Mhm.
so.
Oh, now see, now you're going against the Bible, baby. I don't know what
Oh,
it
my
is.
bad. Look, I'm gonna mute
Now you better,
myself.
you better watch it. Better watch it. We gonna welcome our sister. We gonna welcome our sister Melinda. Hello, Melinda
Hi,
J. Hello, sweetheart. Welcome to the
Melinda.
stream.
I'm a hear no evil, speak no evil.
I'm just gonna shut it down. Like, I don't see, I don't say. I'm
No,
out.
we there now. We there now. We there now. What did you want to add here, honey? What did you got for us tonight?
Um, it's crazy that Papa Earth brought up the point about Latinas versus Black women when it comes to Black men, because I had caught a live with Laugh Guys and Gossip, and she was in like a panel discussion about single mothers and how they're not qualified. If you have more than one child by different big fathers, and I'm like, what the crap? Here we go again.
Not qualified for what?
For marriage, dating, and stuff like that. And
Was
I'm like,
she saying that that's what people were saying, or was she saying? I mean,
that's
I'm not.
what
No, no, there's no judgment. But was
that's,
she saying that was her opinion?
that was what people were saying. She was
Oh,
responding to a panel discussion about
okay,
the
okay,
single mothers,
okay.
and
Oh Lord.
she had cleared them, rightfully so. And then they try to put it back on her, like, oh, we think we know it all because she's a six-figure woman and she's a mother and stuff like that. And I was like, here we go again. I just feel like it's when you're a single parent, it's not that you're unqualified. It's just I look at it as you're learning a lesson and then you're acting accordingly to how you approach relationships in your future. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody is default by a category based on what people are saying. And I'm like, what the crap is going? Y'all still having this discussion? These people are still having this discussion.
We're going to still have these discussions as long as Lashane put it very well. Accountability. Some of us don't want to take responsibility for our choices and we prefer to blame.
Exactly.
Also, we're not willing to be accountable to the fact, or maybe we haven't woke up to the fact. Okay. So I'm just trying to shake people. So those of you that need somebody that needs to be shooketh, you might want to send them this what you call yourself, what you label yourself. I went over this in the podcast. To label yourself has a set of instructions and care directions for that. Everything you buy, right? Your clothes, right? Now, used to be back in the day, we all had labels. Everything had a label. Now, most everything is labeled this. But you still, in that space, find out what? Care instructions. What are those care instructions for? So that to maintain the beauty of said garment. Or whatever it is. You can't put certain things. The label on this plastic cup said, don't put it in the dishwasher. Not to remind the grandbabies, don't put these in the dishwasher. They'll melt. So, there's certain care instructions if you want to keep it intact. The problem, what we've done is we take the label and we actually take the care instructions along with it. And we just go in and employ them in our lives. So, single mother with more than one child, more than one baby daddy. So that has a certain ring and a certain assigned frequency and a certain set of instructions what that single mama can and cannot do, what she should feel that is worthy of her and what is not, what she should. These are her limitations because she's chosen to be a Jezebel or
Honey.
whomever and have kids with different daddies. Damn what the circumstances was. It don't matter, okay? And so we take that on and we actually continue then to propagate that because we continue to feed into it. And actually, guys, the easiest way to fight against it is to stop fighting.
Exactly. Walk away. Walk away. Why are we talking about this? And to your point, it is, I go on, I've been on YouTube now, not with a channel, but been watching for about 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And it is disturbing to me that the conversations are always about how basically Black men can gain control again. Well, guess what, y'all? You didn't have it anyway. So why are we having a conversation about something that is not going to benefit us as individuals and as a people? Whether you are pro this or pro that, stop. I'm sorry, y'all. My cat is crazy. Get out of here. Anyway, he was trying to bite me because I wouldn't pay him no attention. Aggressive, just like a man. And he Black too. See what I'm saying? Anyway, no, I ain't gonna do that. I don't being bad. Okay. But what bothers me is that when we have these conversations and you go through these YouTube streets, they're not talking about spirituality. They're not talking about elevating ourselves mentally and dealing with the different traumas and things that we have to let go of so that we can be the best version of ourselves. It is Black women who are leading the front in everything now. And all I hear and all I see is when Black men get a microphone, they want to figure out a way to blame us for why they feel oppressed. And it's overwhelming to me because I have nephews who are growing up in this world and in this society as young men of color, and they have no leaders to look up to but the women in their lives,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to put something out here though. And then we're going to let Melinda come into this. Sorry, guys. Would it surprise you to know that it ain't just the Black men that's trying to regain their position? Believe it or not, there's a huge sector of white men.
Yes.
White straight men that are like, hey, y'all leaving us in the dust. Hey, y'all taking away hey, we're the most oppressed group of people right now. Now, regardless, in a lot of ways, I'm gonna tell you something. In a lot of ways, oh God, this is a hot take.
You brought it up. Keep going.
That group as a whole, not as an individual or anything like that. I'm talking about the prevailing energy that group has had running through its existence. It's the sins of the fathers are being visited upon the sons. So there's a lot that they are just now beginning to understand, that where they thought they were privileged and realize that they're not. Or they're realizing what it feels like to have your privileges undermined and have an agenda out for you. But here we go again. Instead of then that group saying, "Oh, is this how y'all been feeling? Is this what's going on?" Instead of that group saying that, they're still just fighting against everything instead of recognizing that the rooster's coming home to roost. Instead of us even saying, "Oh, y'all getting what y'all supposed to be getting." Like, it's like the sins of the father is visited. And that verse, all that verse says is karma. That's all it is. It's generational. It's humanity karma that comes from one to the next to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that's getting cleared. I'm not saying individuals that you bear this. I'm just saying as a collective consciousness, these are the things that got to get cleared out of the whole collective consciousness so we can ascend. Okay? So we can all awaken.
Exactly.
But all of us won't awaken. So we have to figure out how not to be judgy amongst each other. Now, so that's what's going on over there all at the same time. It's not that easy for me to look at that and say, I understand what that's going on over there. In fact, my humanity says, I don't give a good goddamn. Oh, well, hope you enjoy that dessert. Didn't taste too good, did it? You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
But if I'm going to elevate out of a judgmental spirit, I've got to look at it from a neutral position.
Exactly.
And then say, now I can know how to come in and assist.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can know how to come in and say, this is what this is. But all these labels and all of this other thing right now, all it's being meant to do, we've talked about this a few times now, is they serving as distractions and division.
That's it.
Distractions and division, divide and conquer. Why we can't get this through our thick skulls, I'm not quite sure.
We don't want to. We're in a very comfortable place. Being complacent is something that a lot of people are pushed into because they feel like that, again, my voice doesn't matter because I don't own this or I don't have this. But little do we take into consideration it would be no this or that if there weren't human beings to take part in whatever your creation is.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet because Melinda was getting ready to talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna let you talk. I'll just muting my other computer here.
You're fine, honey. I'm just posting the link. So you guys, if you want to join the discussion, you can join the discussion, guys. Oh wow, we've been on here for okay, good. I don't know how long we're gonna stay on tonight, but I'm enjoying this talk. And if the more you guys go grab people and tell them we having grown folk talk on a Sunday night, let's have the grown folk talk. Because I want to have grown folk talk with people that want to do something with themselves. Because there's a reason why I'm saying this to y'all. Because if we don't stop being judgmental of one another, then as we are all, or I don't know, a group of us are creating something that's beautiful and magical and wonderful and not tied to the matrix, I don't want to hear a whole bunch of judgment back and forth.
Right. I understand that completely. I think the judgment. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that for me, I don't want it to come from either side. And I don't want anybody to think that I myself am trying to bring a level of structure, but I am trying to bring a measure of understanding and understanding so that when we enter into this new era, we can enter into it from a place of unity and true love without all this judgmental bullshit. Yeah, it's after 9:30. So I hope I'm here. So I hope y'all children is in bed or whatever. Better let me know now if there's kids within earshot. I'll curb my cussing. But you better tell me in the chat. I don't know nothing. My grandbabies is upstairs, so they in the bed. And I'm down here anyway with the door closed. They can't hear me, child.
He's in his room playing his game, so he.
But yeah, but so that kind of brought me to this next spot in the podcast that I dropped, was this whole thing. One perfect example of this was this 3D, 5D living concept, that those of us that are like, hey, we're creating a new, our reality in the 5D, or, in our spirit realm, and bringing it and manifesting it here. There are a lot of people who that's not working out for. And I don't know. But now they're like, well, y'all talking down to us. Y'all ain't really living 5D. Y'all ain't really doing this. Y'all ain't. Why are we demeaning and invalidating each other's experiences? I don't know if you haven't had any, Melinda, if you have any opinion on that, on people invalidating other people's experiences in general.
I believe it's almost like from the 3D to 5D, I envision it as Instagram. You see the person living their best life, and you're just like, dang, what did they do to get to that point? And then once they come on board and explain what they did, change their mindset, their lifestyle, and so forth and so on, and it begins to happen for them. And then the person tries it, and it's like, oh, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I give up easily instead of just continue on the path just to keep it active. So that's how I look at comparing, the judgmental aspect of the 3D and the 5D people, and then one is not like the other because they live in their best life. They live in a la land, and then when it's 3D and you're just like, you're trying to figure it out. It's almost like you want to step and see what happens, but you're put back into the 3D because you're afraid that you're going to get judged, because you're stepping out just to see what can happen. And it's like the fear of the unknown. That's why faith comes into play, where it's either you're going to step in or you're going to step out. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. And you know what this is becoming now very quickly? This is very quickly becoming just like the denomination. So, those of you that don't know, or you should know by now, I've been an ordained charismatic non-denominational minister since I was 30. I'm 54, newly yesterday. And so there's groups. Now I know, I think this is just all over Christianity. There's certain denominations that believe in speaking in tongues. There's certain denominations that don't believe in that at all. There's certain denominations that believe that it's just okay for you to play, all kinds of music and do the praise dancing and this and that and the third. And there's certain denominations, if you come out there trying to do that mess, they are going to pour holy water all over you and try to cast out whatever demon that is residing within you, and then there's this faction over here that just is all kinds of boring, God bless them. But you know what I'm saying? You got this and this and this and this and this. And that's what's happening on all these different factions. So now you got a group that's beginning to master quantum manifestation, or master being the creative being that we truly are, and that we already designed to be, that we came here incarnated as chocolate earth stated before. And then there are those that either haven't quite got it yet, or guess what? Newsflash, what if it's just not part of their experience? Like, I really had to come to this thought process as I'm contemplating life. Now, this was before I went to Hamburger Mary's, okay, guys? So I hadn't been drinking Purple Rain at this point. So this was clear, sober thought. What if it's just not part of their chosen experience? They chose to come and incarnate here on this earth in this time, but that was not part of the adventure when they were choosing their own adventure.
Exactly. Because I think a lot of it is fear.
Yeah.
Fear keeps you in that place where I know I'm my worst critic, right? No
Yep.
one can get on me harder than me. Can other people say things that discourage you or hurt you? Yes, yes, all of those things, all of
Yep.
those experiences. But to your point, it is life that we have been given, and we have seen it come back around. Currently,
Yeah.
right now on this planet, we have 7 generations all living on this planet right now. If we cannot learn from each other's mistakes or choices or things they've created, nobody is saying you got to come in and create the wheel again. Let's just make it better.
Right.
People are so afraid to step out. When I ask these questions, and my stance is this: agriculture, technology, and manufacturing in this society is the only way that we will survive, because those who can are going to change it and put what they feel is best. They don't want to pay people. They don't want this. They don't want that. Those who have decided our fates by constructing it in a way where you have to fight for whatever crumb you are given. But then technology came in and gave us at least a playing field that's even. We can reach across continents to meet people who want to make change. It's scary and exciting all at the same time. I'm here for it. Like I told those women that I met the other night, we need a delegation. We need a group of women to come, a coven, if you will, of women to come together from I know I'm being bad, because spiritually, our connection with the earth, our connection with nature, if I'm inside, that's usually very bad for me. I have to get outside. I love being a part of what has been given to us. Unfortunately, we've been set up to be put in positions that when we do make our own choices and not the choices that are set before you, it's harder. Mm-hmm. It's a lot harder. I know, listen, people done told me I was crazy. I'll be crazy. I will be that all day if that allows me the peace that you can't obtain.
Right. And I completely, when you and I, of course, we wouldn't be having these conversations if we didn't completely agree.
True enough.
What is troubling, and what I'm hoping that we can, maybe from our end, the reason why I wanted to have this discussion too is because I want us to identify where we've seen it all over in all of our, lives. And yes, while we understand that there's no reason to judge one another, there are areas, I think all of us, me included, that I've had to remember I've had to come at things with a very neutral point of view. And that's because that truly is the only way that I can just see you for who you are, is if I see you in a space of neutrality. And whatever it is that you're going through, to hopefully figure out some kind of way where we can come together. I think the danger is that when we want to stick our head in the sand and just be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that anymore.
And to your point,
do that because it's tearing us up.
Exactly. We cannot pretend. Yes, we are all individuals. We all walk our own paths, but we do nothing alone. Whether the person is right next to you, or whether it is a phone call, everything is connected. Energy never stops. It cannot be destroyed. It just moves from one thing to the next. And we can take that energy and move it into a place that is positive. And everybody ain't gonna get on the train. We know that from history.
Yeah.
We know that right now. Look at how people want to push back on some of the most asinine things. Their fight is it's like paper mache, but you want to hold it up like it's a sword. I'm gonna just cut you in half. And when you ask, where is that getting you? There's no answers. How do you feel when you lay your head down every night that this is what you want to do, is cause chaos and destruction, instead of us coming together and doing what needs to be done? We all know what needs to be done.
And causing chaos and destruction, but not even having a bit of a hand in rebirth.
Exactly.
If you're going to cause chaos and destruction and invoke chaos magic, okay, cool. That's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing. But what are we doing?
You're choosing violence. Exactly.
Is key to me. Like, if you're going to destroy something, destroy it for a reason. So that something better can be reborn in its place. Speaking of which, and then I'm going to bring Melinda on this conversation because I want to talk about this comment here. Speaking of which, I did not know until I was watching a documentary just the other day that it was the Egyptians that started the tradition of burying the dead in the ground in a hole, so that our bodies could go back and be
a part of the earth
of life and replenish the earth.
Yeah, that's the base.
And all of that came from us. Okay, anyway. Listen, every chance I get, I'm on that ass. Every chance I get, I'm on that ass.
Stay on it. I'm ready. I got my foot. I told you I got my shield. I got my sword. I'm standing on my heel, honey. Let's go. I'm ready.
Because I feel very strongly that I think I'm going to do a duet on TikTok with this young lady that made this statement. As a matter of fact, there's a young lady on TikTok. I should link her stuff. She has been putting out information. Like, she's young in her early 20s, I would imagine. She's just now discovering that we are indigenous. A good chunk of us, some of us were brought over, but the majority of us are slaves as far as our ancestors are indigenous and so on. So she's just learning all this stuff. And there are us and there are Caucasians that are reaming her new one, telling her she's stupid, she's crazy, she don't know what she's talking about, she da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Of course.
And I'm like, why are y'all? And she's like, why are y'all mad? Because I'm discovering something. Go research it for yourself then.
No.
And I said, stay on that ass. Because I'm tired of, and she said this very eloquently. She said, in school, we were not taught anything about the Egyptians. In school, we were not taught anything about the civilizations of indigenous Americans. We were not taught any of these things that would lead us to believe that this is a young woman. Lead us to believe that we had any amount of intelligence about our race. When I heard that girl say that,
it time.
Broke my heart.
It's time.
It broke my heart.
All is being revealed.
And I said, baby, for you, I'm going to stay on that ass. Okay. Now.
Yes. I'm ready to call.
I'm not playing anymore. Like, it's fine for the Bible is cool. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the Bible. I'm just saying, can we give credit? You know how we got to give y'all credit for everything? Not y'all. Oh, God, Lord Jesus.
I know what you're saying. Go on,
so
sister.
We got to give authors credit. It's called a bibliography. When you take somebody's information and you rewrite it and put it in your report or your blog or you cite something, you got to put down in the footnote, where you got it from.
Exactly.
YouTube, you could come on here, DC it, man, whatever the hell it's called. If I take too much of somebody else's stuff and I don't either say I'm using it for fair use,
right,
or I am, hang on one second. What conspiracy brother? What you want? Conspiracy brother is here.
Yes.
AKA my son, and he doesn't recognize it. Do we have to do this right now, son? I'm good. Okay, come here, hon.
That's so funny.
I will let you all in on this secret as soon as it works for me. Conspiracy brother, can you get off me in front of the
I like your shirt. It's orange.
You might as well come around the front so the people can see you now. Come on, say hello to right over here.
Hello.
Hello.
How we doing?
How we doing? All right. We all right. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Christina Stearns is in. Well, you didn't know her as you remember Christina, her sister, Hispanic young ladies from River of Life.
Yeah.
So Christina's here with her husband. She's in here.
Yeah, she just said hey.
Still going at it too.
And where else you want to sign? Do I need to sign down here?
You know what? Right here, you need to put your favorite non-digit number on it. That word.
Christina said you need to start rapping for us.
I like a good show, a little old school. Let's go.
And you want me to sign right here? I thought I had to sign somewhere.
Sign right there, just to double check. Front and the back. That's what we do.
That is great.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Oh, dang it. You let the cats in.
Oh, I just had to get rid of mine. I had to get him off my bed.
Now it's a wrap.
Man.
They're like, he didn't know. He didn't know we had got kicked out.
That's so funny.
So, where was I? Where were we at? Oh, where were we at?
We were talking about.
Go ahead.
TikTok that was
Oh, got you. That's what I was talking about. So I'm not against the Bible. I got no problems with the Bible, but I need y'all to cite your sources.
Exactly.
That's all I'm asking for. Is citing your sources. The reason why we get upset about cultural appropriation is because it's only appropriation when y'all don't cite your sources.
Exactly. Ooh, I said that last night. It was last night or Friday night. I can't remember. But I said, you know how many things our culture has appropriated and just taken and made our own because ours was taken. Our culture is a hodgepodge, I know, of different things. I said, you got women calling themselves China doll. You're not Chinese. You're not Chinese. Why you say that?
You're not Asian.
Chinese. No, you're not Asian. And so the young lady I was talking to, of course, she was like, what? What do you mean by that? I said, honey, in the 70s, after black men came back from Vietnam, and black women, then all of a sudden everybody was a karate expert in the hood.
Let me tell you something. You could tell the people nothing.
You walking around with a gi and some flip-flops telling me you a master dragon. Listen,
baby.
Get out of here.
Talk about the end of the dragon now. Don't you talk about
that.
Listen,
that's my movie. Listen, that's my movie. Look here. It's so bad. I got the glow. That's what I'm telling you. That's it. I got the glow. It's all over me. But that's what I mean. We have taken on so many things and made it our own because our culture was taken from us. And to your point earlier when you were saying that a lot of people of color, a lot of people in this country want to go, well, no, if you don't look like this and you ain't got hair down your back, you ain't no Cherokee. Listen here. What they did in the long walk home, if you did not make it on a reservation, you were then called a Negro. Didn't matter. And see, on the other hand of that, when they could not transport any more slaves to this country, they breeded us out. They breeded us. That's why they called men bucks. They would put knapsacks over their head and make them sleep with whomever to breed more slaves.
Relatives.
Yes,
These
it
are
could be the
own
mama,
relatives, guys.
it could be the sister, it could be anybody. And that's why sometimes you be like, you have to check, like, who is your family? Where you
Mm-hmm.
from? Because we done found out plenty of folks is first cousins or third cousin removed, and that's why
Yep.
some of the kids got the shaky head. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. But don't
Mm-hmm.
sit up here and tell us that we do not have just as much claim to the land we stand on just because we're not on a reservation. What you think a hood is? What you think the ghetto is?
Well, right, but also understand. Look up $5 Indian, y'all. Look that up and
Mm.
come back to me and tell me what you find out, and then you'll find out why. Oh boy,
Come on now.
why there's so many people that think that they have some in them, but they really don't. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you go back and look at old photographs, I'm gonna reach out again to Dane Calloway and see if I can't get him to come on to the channel and have this discussion, because the amount of information that man has put out and the accuracy of that information, and what I have found in my own family. If you go back and look at old pictures of our ancestors, of your own family, you're gonna find somebody that's native, I guarantee you. And if you go back far enough and look at some of these historical photos, they all look like us. They were as dark as African. They were
come
as dark as
on.
African. Okay.
Let's go. Yes, yes.
Some of them had super nappy hair. Some of them didn't.
If you look at those pictures of the ancestors, because again, a lot of people don't realize that our European brothers and sisters document very accurately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They write down the things that they think and say. There is a book, I don't know the name, I apologize, but it was these travel books that they would write in the 1800s when people would travel across the country to see who was around, basically, before we had the census.
Right.
And they would connect with tribes and these different cultures across the country. And the pictures were amazing. And I used to mess with my mother and my grandmother, and I used to say that they were squaws, because that's what they look like. They look just like these women.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, she was like a rich, deep brown color.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we're going through, because she explained to me that our ancestors are Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the beginnings of the story of our family lineage was our, let's just so how many greats out there, great grandmother, she was stolen off a riverbank. And she had children for not only the father, she had children for the son as well.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm doing an ancestry, I'm searching now for my family. My father's side of the family was somewhere I didn't get as much history, so I jumped on Ancestry, got started, and I was able to find the people who owned my family.
Wow.
Wow.
It was an emotional moment.
Yeah.
And the reason for those emotions was because you said it earlier, that the labeling of who we are, the you got to be this or you got to be that. And like I said, we want to go either all the way left, all the way right, and we're missing everything in the middle.
Absolutely. And we're not neutral at that point. We can't operate correctly if we're out of alignment. And and this is the thing, is out of being centered. I think I need to stop saying alignment and start saying centered. Because alignment, you can be aligned to something and you too far this way or too far that way, but you in perfect alignment with that mess. So I think it's this you being centered and neutral. That's what keeps our peace. I wanna move a little bit because I want to stay in this genre of on this topic, right? Of has the spirit of judgment taken over. One of the other things I talked about was this concept of individuals, right? That it's our need to be, and so Tarot Guy says, however, our need to be individuals, but also belonging somewhere to make these groups. And it's because we're individuals on our own paths that conflicts arise. And again, he continues, yet I feel that we as a people need to be able to be kind to each other instead of infighting absolutely with each other and tearing each other down, instead of raising the entire collective of humanity. Because all these groups are doing is lowering the entire vibrational energy of the whole collective, because they're not helping to be uplifting, which is why I believe it is which I believe is the opposite of what people should be doing. And I completely agree. So I'm going to have to scroll further now that you guys have seen this. Is in completion, they left huge chunks out. Absolutely, they did. Mulatto was frequently documented. Yes, it was. Individuals. I have this feeling, and we alluded to it earlier, that if we can get to a point where we are allowing each other just to live, that individuality then of experience can be experienced without there being conflict between one another. What do you think about that, Melinda?
I fully agree, because everybody has their own unique path. I mean, not one person has the same path. So just because one person is going this way, that doesn't mean the other person follows suit. You just, there is when it comes to kids, especially between middle school, I think it's not compared to after high school. But when they get to middle school, they're already starting the process of trying to figure out who they are and what groups they want to belong in. Majority of the time, it is popular kids. They want to be within the popular group, with athletic and all that stuff. And then when they get to high school, then they have to reinvent themselves again. That's another 20% of them trying to find their identity. And then once they complete the high school, then they go to college. If they go to college, then that's another path. That's another identity that they have to identify within themselves. And sometimes it's not the same as how they were within high school and middle school. And then if they don't go to college, or they go to just the workforce in the world, period. Well, you're a small fish in a big sea. Now you really got to figure out who you are. And that's why people get lost at, thinking that they are this same person that they were in high school. That's just what was, your personality in high school, compared to when in between your 20s and your 30s, you're evolving. You're still trying to figure yourself out. And then whenever you get towards that age of 30, which I am.
What? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What'd you say? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Girl, I was getting ready to say she about 19, 20. Go ahead.
I get that all the time.
That's why I love my melanin so. I love my melanin sisters. If I probably am in the wrong era, I'd have been walking around in the 70s holding up my fist, getting arrested, because that's how I feel.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Quality, yes. People, they get lost in the sauce, basically. And whenever they get lost in the sauce, and then they just get to that rock bottom and they crash and burn, it's just like, well, I give up. I don't belong to anybody.
Right.
So what am I here for? And when they don't find their sense of purpose and their own individuality within themselves, then it's just like, what's the point of me being here? I don't know who I am, because I was living up to what I was back in middle school and high school, and the fact that I'm still trying to get connected with other groups, trying to find my sense of belonging. Instead of
Right.
finding a sense of belonging with myself. So, yeah, that's how I put it. Yeah, that's how I put it.
Mhm. So I completely agree with you, right? Because we're forcing the kids to choose up sides and be something when they haven't even had a chance to experience life to determine that for themselves. And those that maybe know that this is their path, that we do, I feel like we should guide them in a proper way
Exactly.
as they're finishing determining whether or not that's their path or not, right? Because I know that, for me, myself, there are a lot of things and a lot of changes that happened throughout the time period of coming to who I am right now. I probably changed sexuality. I don't even know how many times, child.
Hey, I just was reading about that, about the fish. I can't think of the name of the fish. Oh my God, I was watching it. And it will turn into a male. So it will change its sex and then go back into the group of fish to mate with
if there's not enough males in the school.
Exactly.
Then some will switch over.
Or
I'm sorry, say that again. And maybe it's my headphones. I didn't hear you.
A seahorse or a clownfish? I heard of that announcement.
I can't remember the name of the fish.
I know the seahorse.
And it's got a big bulbous head. Like its head is real big. It looked like a little.
It sounds like a clownfish.
Is that a clownfish? The one with the big head and kind of looks crazy.
So. I could be wrong. If anybody out there knows, they could tell us.
Did she say she was watered down? Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay, so that whole conversation was, we were saying that she's obviously white, but her great grandmother was hanging a white man, and that her grandmother is like dark skinned. And I'm like, I never assumed Dana was white. I always assumed she was multiracial.
Yeah.
Biracial. Like, if Dana had said she was white, child, I wouldn't have said Dana was white. You couldn't have told me that. I would have got to fighting if somebody had said that dear Dana woman is white. No, she ain't. You better stop taking that away from my sister. So
better
Dana,
get out of here.
Listen, we know, girl. We
all
have
right.
the radar. I picked up on that energy. I don't care what your picture say.
Exactly.
I don't care what. Thank you so much, Bed-Stuy BK. Thank you. Greetings here. Oh, so me and Tarot Guy, we always go at it. So Tarot Guys, y'all just give me a second. So Tarot Guy was like, we all let me scroll up so we don't crucify him. So I understand at the beginning of the story, if we want to go from the beginning as we've been told it.
Right.
Now let's.
Yeah.
If we want to go by that storyline, then there was one group and all this inbreeding. However, even in the Bible, it contradicts that very storyline.
Exactly.
Because if it didn't contradict it, what cities exactly? Where did these cities come from? That when Cain killed Abel, Cain was banished to. Now, Tarot Guy, I'm not saying that. Now, me and you is cool, so I don't want nobody getting on Tarot Guy's ass. Me and Tarot Guy is cool, everybody. There's a no judgment zone.
I like him, and I like what he says because I like having those type of conversations because yes, like I was saying earlier, it can be a truth and it can be a lie at the same time.
All at the same time.
We have a prism. We live in a multi-dimensional life. There are things we don't understand still. There are things that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
And instead of the infighting, instead of us trying to one up one another, we could do so much as a collective. And I'm just saying like-minded people about your melanin count. It is now a part of what do we see in the future, because if we continue to allow the powers that be dictate what we do, it seems to me it's like leading sheep to jump off a hill.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I
So
told you,
that's why we're
I'm
having
on.
this discussion, and I enjoy
Yes.
having these discussions. So all I'm saying is, beloved, and how you and I'm just helping you frame this conversation, because I'm sure you'll have this conversation somewhere else again. In framing it, sometimes if the conversation is right about very recent history where this happened, that's probably not exactly the right time to bring up the fact that under Christianity and maybe some other religious structures and beliefs, that we all came from just Adam and Eve, right? So, or you may want to couch it, just a little bit of a softened way. And Girl Talk, I see you saying, I know very well who Tarot Guy is. No one's coming for him. But sweetie, as much as I love you, if you can't be here and just allow us to have a spirited conversation, then maybe this particular one just isn't right, and you can come back at another time, because nobody's coming for anybody. This is exactly why we're having this conversation. I'm not judging him. He's not judging me. They're not judging him. We're having a conversation. So we got to get out of being super sensitive over everything.
Well,
we
yeah.
gotta get out of that place, because if we're going to be super sensitive about everything, we're never going to get nothing accomplished.
No. It's dirty. It's dirty work that has to be done. Everybody gonna have to get a little dirty to get this done. If they want a better life, if you want that peace, because it does feel that. I feel it in the air where change is coming, but again, it's going to be chaos and peace at the same time.
Like existing simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the thing that that's just like making me like, whoa, are you serious right now? So Tarot Guy, you're exactly right. There are slaves today, and guess what? They ain't all melanated.
Right.
Like that's,
well, we are all slaves to what they have continued. There are 8 families that run the world.
Until we break out of the matrix, we're in that. So
let's go.
This is the thing. So this is why there needs to be division amongst the spiritual community. And I love my Christians. I love y'all, because y'all really don't understand though what's really going on behind the scenes. So I'm trying to help you understand this. When y'all came in and took this over and were like, or you came in, you didn't mean, some of y'all meant to take it over, but when y'all came in, it was, how can we make spirituality and the belief system conform to this, so that we still feel good about going to church and praying to Jesus and all that. That's not I ain't got nothing to do with that. Now that's between you and your God and your Jesus. Well, so leave my stuff alone. So anyway, so you came over here, and then we were welcoming to this.
Yep.
Then what happened is the greedy little factions that were already in this, but hadn't really shown their true colors yet.
Right.
So where now I can bring all of this into the spirituality. We'll make everybody feel cool and calm and copacetic. We'll let them even say that this, that, and this ain't that, and what's who, why, what, because y'all spend money. Now y'all Christian folks spend some money, and I can say that because that's what I was. We spend some money, baby. We quick. But y'all better peep them Creflo Dollar TikToks where he talking about
girl.
That
don't even get me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Listen,
Jesus. So we gonna have
honey,
the other day, baby. Because it's all coming out. But anyway, my point being is this: is when that comes in and the greed comes in and the need that somebody said earlier is ego, and the ego come in. right? All of this comes
Mm-hmm.
together, and now people see where they can capitalize on it. So now what we
Exactly.
got going on now is a group of spiritual folks that's giving the rest of us a bad name. How are they giving us a bad name? Because they're out here being shysters, scammers, and that's not judgment, that's just truth. They're out here milking and being energy vampires. So when some of us come along and say we are authentically living in our purpose, and ding ding ding, there is nothing wrong with profiting from your purpose,
Exactly. But it's how you do it.
but it's
It's
how
how
you
you do
do
it.
it,
The
right?
intention.
So we're coming and saying we're not trying to make you slaves again to our belief system, which
Right.
I feel very strongly that a lot of them really are. We're saying be free. So the ones that are saying be free, and we'll help you make the key to get rid of your shackles on your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, you two, stop acting a fool.
I just had to throw my cat up my bed. I'm telling you. Wildin'.
I'm gonna have to go
You know-
open up this here door so they can get out and go play. My son closed the door like I wanted these cats in. Keep talking, babe. I'll be right back. Let me open the door.
When I think about where we are as a collective, as a community, what is disheartening to me is that we're still afraid.
Right.
We're so scared of somebody getting something that we're not going to get.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at, because I was raised as a Baptist. I went to church, the whole nine. Sunday school, we was there every week. We did our thing. But my home life was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so what took me away or pushed me away from organized religion is this. Who we helping?
Yeah. Exactly.
Where's our pantries? Where's our food banks? Where's our daycares? Where's our women's shelters? Our men's shelters? Our vets shelters? Our elderly people?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening? Where is all this money going?
Yep.
I'm not giving you no dollar so you can go fly a jet
Okay.
to go from one country to the next. How can you sit up and make a whole group called Prosperity Christianity? And this is how I know, again, and no disrespect to anyone who is in organized religion. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what is the benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love the fellowship part, but even within that, it's like a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to respect the first lady and deacon, la la la. Why? When the same teachings are telling me not to make man an idol, but we do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the idol falls or the cracks start to show, we want to get surprised. You're human. It's fragile.
Right.
Human beings are fragile and can be swayed and can be pushed depending on the strength of their spiritual and mental health. If you are vulnerable, you're going to unfortunately come across people who want to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. It happens all the time.
All the time.
Happens all the time.
All the time. And it's disheartening, but it doesn't make me want to stop fighting to have something better for myself, for my family, and for my community. I haven't gotten this far with just myself. I've had people that have cheered me on, helped me, fed me, let me sleep on their couch, whatever I needed, borrowed a car, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we have decided that we want to be so individualistic. We want to be so customized. that we forget that we're all connected. And you looking down on me from your pedestal, understand it can crack and it can break.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I don't want anyone to misunderstand. Well, I can't help if they do or they don't. But I want it said at this point in time. If I come on here, or Melinda comes on here, or Chocolate Earth comes on here, or whomever I have on this panel, on my podcast, on my other channel, as I get ready to open that one up. Hey.
She thinks she fancy. She fancy.
I don't want anyone to feel like to take anything that I say as if I'm talking down to anyone, A, or B, that all of a sudden Lisa's just come up. All I'm about now is about the money. What I'm about is making sure we all, if we can, and I believe most of us can, in some form or fashion, create our own stream of income or streams of income that are separate and separate from corporate America.
Yeah.
There are so many of us that are jewelry makers, or that they are your carpenters, or your artists, or your writers, or what have you, or your daycare workers and you want to own a daycare. Your teachers and you want to come together and create a school system and a curriculum. Your doctors, your nurses, your practitioners, and you want to add holistic, truly traditional, right? Energetic methods to helping people. You could be who knows? It doesn't matter. Why would you not want to allow somebody like myself or whomever you find to help you with it? And why should we not be allowed to then allow that to be the provision for our person? That's how we're going to get an economy going. I'm not saying everybody that's in my chosen field at this point is really about it, right? I'm not here trying to say that. And I'm not going to sit here and say I've been 150% spot on, dead on, right every time, every moment of every day. I haven't. I'm learning as I'm growing. But I know that I know that I know that I know. I'm here to be the catalyst and be the space to help propel you into your own. I don't want yours. Okay? I don't want to.
Exactly. Let's work together.
I can't do that. Okay? I cannot. I don't have time.
No.
Or the inclination.
I believe it's that way now because they're afraid that you're going to take their place. It's not the case. We can work on a collaborative effort to bring purpose into someone's life and change their perspective so they can live in a perfect lifestyle full of enlightenment. Then we can change one another, one person at a time. But as long as you're being defensive, like, you're not going to take my spot.
Right.
I'm here first. What are you bringing? It's like, well, dang.
Right.
I just with you. It's almost like gatekeeping. Like you want to gatekeep your client.
Yes, Lord. Yes, gatekeeping.
Allowing things to unfold naturally.
Or because their business. Oh, y'all really. I love y'all. I'm really saying some stuff tonight that I really. It's been on my chest.
Yes.
And it's time to get it off. Listen. Sometimes people get upset, and they'll sometimes drop in my comments, and I know what they're trying to say. Oh, it feels like all y'all just all about everything. All y'all with these programs and the this and the that and the whoop to the bam and the boom. Okay. And maybe we shouldn't be charging. So when your business isn't going the way you thought it should go, the first thing you want to do is go on and judge others that are successful, and B, judge yourself.
Yeah.
And so you're measuring this then by this old, overly religious attitude, BS attitude, and belief that you had to be poor to be pious, that you was not really holy, honey, unless you had holes in your shoes.
Exactly.
So that's where the prosperity message came from, right? That out of that, so what started out right, came big business. So while I can see everybody's concerned about whether or not this is, and it truly is a multi-billion-dollar business at this point, because I have people that are always after me to come and collaborate with them, but they want me to change and water down my program. And guys, these are people that have $15,000 and $20,000, $25,000 programs that people do buy.
Right.
That people do buy into and see massive results. And they see what I'm doing and they say, I want to collaborate with you. I want you to start charging $15K. And then but I need, in order for you to hit this over here, in order for you to gain this over, I'm going to need you to change this and water this down and make it less overtly spiritual and bring it kind of mainstream.
Got it.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a few of them people that looked like they sat there and they had 5 to 10 people that would have dropped $15,000 in my lap.
But do people realize that when we provide the service that we're using our light and energy to help heal others, and that when sessions are done, we do have to recharge, energize ourselves to prepare for the next person so they can get the healing that needs to be done. Like someone.
Well, see, the sad.
Oh, go ahead.
The sad part about it is when we discuss, spirituality and the business of spirituality. It is always, I find that very interesting, how that is looked upon as something that, you shouldn't be making, you shouldn't charge it, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Well, even when you saw the woman or man who lived on the outskirts of the town, because he knew all the herbs and he knew how to do this, or she knew how to do this, and she could heal or fix and do. You had to bring her something. You had to give her something. Exactly. And I find it interesting that we want to, especially in our culture, we want to make that sound like, this is awful, you shouldn't be charging. But yet, you'll go in every Sunday and give your last. And what do you get out of it?
And that adds 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
You gotta believe it.
And I'm like,
that's coming around. Coming around. And again, like I said, where's our schools? Black churches, and I'm just saying Black churches in general, have taken a step far back from what they were as far as community was concerned.
Right.
Yep.
I am to the place where I am tired of these tropes of you can't help people and charge of money and all. That is what is the trading of our society. Money is that trade. I have to eat. I have to look at lights. I need lights. I need all of these particular things to provide a service for you. But yet and still you want to penalize me because I'm asking for trade. That's all new. You go and give someone $40, $50, $60, $70 for something that has nothing. It's in a moment. But to want to spiritually elevate yourself and put yourself in a better position in life and maybe in your relationships, we want to demonize that. And that's where that hypocritical moment comes in. You're judging based on what? People have been assisting people spiritually since as long as man can remember.
Mhm.
But you had to bring them something. You had to bring somebody something. You couldn't just show up
Right.
empty-handed.
You couldn't show up to the prophets. I was just having this discussion with somebody, and I'm going to be on their podcast here very soon. You couldn't show up to the prophet's door, or when the prophet came to town, and you wanted to get a word from the Lord. You better bring something.
Whether it was a corn, some bread,
some oil,
or some oranges, a basket of
clothes, something. This even in the Bible, y'all. So go check your Bible out now. Go check your Bible out. This is there. So this is not a bad thing. I'm only saying this, y'all, to say, and they're having a great discussion in the chat about sacrifice and integrity. The reason why I told that story was not because I'm patting myself on the back, but because I'm like, if I was about the money, y'all, I'd have been changed up a whole lot. I'd have been clone this, clone that, change, and I would have got my smooth $75,000 to $150,000 paid in full, just like that.
Can I just say to you,
amazing payday. I'm not gonna lie to you, absolutely it would.
Exactly. Pat yourself on the back. I would pat it. Take all your hands and pat yourself on the back, because everyone makes a decision and a choice. Yes, I'm just being ignorant tonight. Listen, pat yourself on the back. I have to do it myself as well, so that listen, there is a choice to walk through this life with your head down, your eyes closed, and your mouth shut. And you don't have to do nothing but get by day to day, survive quietly, and live your life. But when people like yourself, people like Melinda, people like the different folks I have met on this platform share their message and try to assist people, and you're not trying to scam them or pander to them or play games with them. You're trying to do something that not only benefits you as the person creating it, but also those around you. So please pat yourself on the back. And anyone who has that ability and has the empathy to want to assist other people, you better pat yourself on the back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I ain't gonna lie, it was a thought. Now who wouldn't? Enrollments have been a little bit slower lately or whatnot. I'm moving and shaking and doing things a little differently so that I can be sure I can still be of great assistance to the people. And so that was a tremendous opportunity. But I refused, absolutely refused to sacrifice my integrity. I won't do it that way. If they want to come and work with me at this high level, then they're going to have to be in touch with their spirituality. They're going to have to be in touch with their divinity. They're going to have to come to the program in the way that it's fashioned, because I'm only helping to create integral, spirit-infused business owners. That's it. I don't want nothing to do with nothing else but integral, spirit-infused business owners that are here to make an impact in the world. Speaking of which, guys, I want you to notice down on the ticker down there below, I'm having my next Lightworker liftoff on the 19th and the 20th. So it's Tuesday and Wednesday. It's for 2 hours each night at 6:30 p.m. Central, I think we're starting. We'll be going for 2 hours each night. I'll check next year. And then the VIP is the third day, which is when we're going to be teaching social media. The first day is all about mindset, heart set. I'll teach you what I mean by heart set. And it's really a healing day. So we can then begin to visualize and create your purpose. And the second day is all about imposter syndrome, authority, Let's grow past that, transmute it, and then who are you speaking to? So by the time those 2 days are done, you have a basis and have at least an understanding and an understanding of who you serve or who you really want to serve, how much you should charge, and you have a path to start. And that's completely free those first 2 days. Third day is $47, and that's when we're going deep into algorithms, platforms, creating a fantastic posts, and we'll begin to help you create that. Now, I would be telling you a big bold-faced lie if I wasn't going to tell you that I will also, at the end of those 2 days and into the third day, give you an opportunity to work with me, just like just like Melinda's working with me, and just like Coach Leslie is working with me, and Christina has worked with me, and there's more than one person, Shiny. There's quite a few people in here that have, Malika, when you see her in here, have all worked with me, and to varying degrees have started or about to start their business. Shakima, what is it? How does she come in here? I think she comes in here, Shakima.
Myself. That's why I said pat yourself on the back. Just do that. Pat yourself on the back.
And she worked with me. She worked with me for us, like, getting.
But that's what I'm saying. As human beings, we don't have to do nothing. You choose, you make your choices, you make your own adventures. And when you are trying to step into a role to assist other humans to navigate what we call life, that takes a lot. Yeah. That is a lot. It's a lot of energy. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of brain work. It can drain you. And knowing how to do that, connect with people, because that's how we connect. We through energy.
Absolutely.
I don't think I was drawn to heart when I was on Comp's panel. And
yes. Oh wow.
Child, listen. Some of them conversations, Lord. But
they were deep.
The reason why now all of these things are coming out, all of these things are being discussed, because then they need to come out. They need to be told. Right. We need to connect. Because that's what we need, that's what's happening. Whether you want to do it or not, and you feel like you're being pulled towards something better. And it is scary. It's hard. It's frustrating. But when you get that outcome, that's what it's about.
That's what it's all about. And we'll be making this announcement a little bit more soon. But right now, Chocolate Earth and I are working through the final I don't know what we need to call it, agreements, whatever, because Heart of Inspiration and Lightworker Academy, and then soon to be Elevated Media, will be supporting her Chocolate Earth Foundation. So a portion of everything that we do,
oh my gosh,
including the 6-month program, I'm working out the numbers right now, but a portion of that will be going to Chocolate Earth Foundation to further her efforts. Okay.
Why?
So
why you do that?
It's for a purpose. I don't just do these things for me. Okay. I don't just do it. Like, this is part of the big purpose, right? So, and again, I'm not looking for no accolades, y'all, because I just like I don't need your validation, I don't necessarily need your accolades.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give them to you anyway.
But
I'm hard. I'm a Taurus now. You know that. You know what it is. You know what it is.
But what I want to do, right, is give everybody an opportunity to begin to live the magical life that I'm living and really step fully into their purpose and expanding their consciousness. You don't have to be full-time entrepreneur tomorrow, but at least come on through and start. You got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all go to lightworkerliftoff.com and sign up for that, or you can go. I did extend my birthday situations until the sale.
She kicking it.
Offer.
She kicking it.
I extended my birthday offer to you all till probably about noon tomorrow. I might extend it just a hair further. Then I'm gonna shut her down. That's so you can get into Creators from the Heart. And then again, a good portion, we're thinking somewhere 10-15% of that are going to go to support Chocolate Earth Foundation. So Creators from the Heart is a monthly membership where you can learn to create your business and create your life from your heart center, not just your head. So I'm giving you off 11% off the first month if you do the monthly, either Adept or Initiate, or I'm giving you 22% off the annual. So that's like a huge savings. That's like $244 on the lower priced version, and the best value, that's going to be about a $480 some dollar, almost $500 savings on an annual membership.
Wow.
So go there
That's
to
awesome.
yeah, it's I don't know what's wrong with me. Birthday. So
I'm just gonna,
bring...
if you don't mind, I'm just gonna say this. One, I'm honored. I just want to say that for the record. I'm honored to be working with you. I'm honored to meet to Melinda, the different people in the chat. I think when, again, a lot of my fight for Chocolate Earth is because of my mom, because of how she gave selfless, like, I'm saying my mama is a saint. Okay, that's just the end of that. That's what it is. And she was one of the best women in the world, and I'm so happy she was my mom. The thing about what I have gone through in my path, I see that right now with inflation, who is that affecting the most? Are people of color. People that are in poverty, the working poor. We can grow food in a matter of 30 to 55 days. That's cabbage, that's lettuce, that's tomatoes, cucumbers, and pop it out and make sure that not only it's families, single people, it doesn't matter. No one should go to bed hungry in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person, but unfortunately, there are about 42 million people who are going to bed hungry or having to choose.
Yeah,
and that's the start of what we want to do, and then I want to branch out, because again, we don't have any communities of our own, and our counterparts can build them. They make their own. They have their own. They have their own gated communities.
Mm-hmm.
We should have our own.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean, and I want to make that clear, that doesn't mean I'm anti anyone. I'm just talking about we have to. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you. Because you know what? You're absolutely correct. The path has been hard. I was like, this is not going to work. What am I doing? This is crazy. And then the minute I decided, you want to do this, this is where you've always wanted to be, is about creation, is about assisting people. I love it. I love dealing with people. I was a teacher. I taught adults. I taught children. Human beings are so interesting, and you just don't know who you may meet. And I'm very thankful that I met her, I met Lisa, and she helped me solidify what I was doing. So I just want to say, I say, pat yourself on the back, please.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she allowed me to get my Reiki practitioner certificate. I had that on my vision board for a long time. I was like,
do it. Yes.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I was on a mile high. I was like, I finally got it. And it's been on my vision board for the past 2 years. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
To find me a mentor, and I need to get my certification so I can start doing what I am called to do.
Yes.
It was the anniversary of my grandfather's transitioning, and
Mm.
with him, and then and tailoring it towards what I'm doing now, I'm like, because it kept circling around with me and my family caregiving our some family members until their passing, because others were doing whatever the case may be, but it always led back to our family, like taking care of the transition process or just trying to figure stuff out. And with kids, we did the whole process, and that is so sacred that it's not even funny. I was like, this is what the ancestors did, and this is what transitioning to the afterlife is all about. It just
Yep.
History tells us that. History tells us that.
Yeah.
And now it tells us that we can see what those choices look like now.
Yeah.
And that is what we should take advantage of. And that's why I'm excited to be a part and meet the different people I'm meeting. It has been enlightening. It has been frightening. Because some of these conversations, girl, when I get on those all male panels,
you're gonna be there all night.
Listen, I be trying to be good, but it's not there. It tastes better. I like being bad. So I ask questions
and regroup every now and then. You need to recharge. We're going to be here live much more often. And then we're going to take this and put this over on Elevated Media as well. So
I like that. Come on now.
I'm so excited to get that going. You guys have no idea. I'm so excited. And it's going to be a subscription-based situation. So, at this point, I won't care if y'all don't subscribe to the thing over here, the YouTube membership. I'd rather y'all was over there at that membership on our platform. Like, be over there on our platform, okay?
Oh yeah, I agree with you completely.
What I want. So that's what we fixing to do.
I can't remember who said it, but I wanted to give somebody a shout out. They said it in the show you did for your birthday. They said about elevating the melanated. Yes. And I love that line. And I was like, I gotta give somebody credit. Who said that?
That was Christina.
Okay, Christina, that's Bob. I used it in my paragraph. I'll just shout out to you. I put it there. I don't care. But it was awesome.
Absolutely. So, my goal, right, is for us to not be judged. I only brought this conversation up because if we don't call it out, we can't fix it. We don't call it out, we don't see it in our own lives, and we don't call it out, we can't fix it in our own lives and then fix it in the world.
Tell it.
But we've been on here for 3 hours now, y'all. A couple of hours. I'm not I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there. But I'm not quite there yet.
I ain't even. Throw us another curveball. I'm ready. Throw it. Put it out there.
I was up till a little late yesterday, and so I want to be good to my body.
Okay.
So that I can get up tomorrow, because I was told on my birthday that I need to get back to having my weekday astrology reports.
Oh, okay.
So I have to be committed again to doing the astrological situations. On a regular basis. Sometimes y'all... Yes, I have commitment issues in some areas. I'm gonna be honest.
I have the same.
Me too. I think that's everybody. Don't. You're doing it though. You're doing it.
Thank you. But I have the best intentions. I'm like, okay, I could commit to 5 days a week. As long as I don't have to be committed to Saturday and Sunday, I'm cool. I can come to the peoples and bring up astrology 5 days a week.
She said my office hours are from 9 to 5. That's it. That's it.
Baby, like, let me tell you something. It got to the point where I was like, y'all, I can't do this. This is just this is too much of a commitment.
Hey,
But I'm gonna get
Christina,
back to it.
yes.
What
Yes,
she
it is
said?
Chocolate Earth Foundation, or at Shakira Janae is my Instagram. I'm happy to put it in the chat, or I'll
Are you
give
still
it
in the
to
chat? Hold on, let me
Lisa.
see. Let me see something. Okay. Um, I need you to type something in the chat.
Okay,
Chocolate. Because
I'm
what I'm
I'm
gonna do
at
is
it.
I'm gonna make you a moderator so you can put your links in there.
Okay.
Hmm.
Stop licking my arm. Would you go on somewhere?
Is that cat doing that? My cat does the same thing.
Man, listen. And then, like I said, I have a whole bunch of stuff around me. I got my computer, my laptop, I got all my books and different things. And he climbed all over that to come over here and lick my arm. No, stop this. Stop this. Stop this. Stop this. Yes, I just talked to him like anybody on the street. Get on out of
I
here,
did
old
too.
man.
You heard me to fuss with these girls in here because they was fisting the
Yeah.
rats over here. See, what y'all don't see, I'll clean it up a little bit first. But then I'll give you like the behind the scenes and my rat's nest of wires and plugs and extension cords and everything,
Yes.
lights that are all in here, and the fact that this wall is only painted till about here because it doesn't hit, you can't see it on camera. Now you know what I'm saying, like the stuff that you
Yes.
see behind the scenes. So when the girls, aka the kiddies, come in here wrestling and stuff, I know they want to play, and they're like, oh, we haven't been in mom's room to tear it up. So they came and they were about to start wrestling over by the power strip where this camera's plugged in, the ring light is plugged in, the studio light over here. So it would have just been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
In about 5 seconds, had those cats been rolling around wrestling right over there. They have a ton of room over
They don't
there.
care. No.
They want to wrestle where my stuff is.
Exactly.
And ain't nobody got no job.
Right. He walked
To
over
pay
my
for it.
keyboard. He walked right on the top of my laptop and got in the corner right next to my hip and was slapping me with his tail. I was like, listen,
Oh my God.
you're
Chuck,
invading my
I need
space.
you to type in the YouTube chat, not the private.
Oh, I don't know how to. Okay, maybe I got to do it from my other phone because it's like it won't let me.
It won't let you get out to the YouTube chat.
Yeah, no, I have to. I'll pull it up on my other phone.
Hold on,
Hold
let
on.
me see if I can. Hang on. I'll see if I can scroll back far enough to find you.
That's all right.
I copied and pasted on there.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Oh my God, I didn't even get your text message. I just
That's
saw
so funny.
your live and I told Tommy, I said, I'm getting on there. And she was like, yeah. She was like, get on there. That's my she my ride or die. My sister keep me pumped. She be like, go on, do it. Yeah.
You said Tommy?
Oh my God, yes, that's her name, Tommy. I'm sorry, Tommy.
No. I'm gonna call you as soon as I get off here and I'll explain why I just asked you that
Oh,
question.
okay.
Anyway, okay. I
Hold
found
on,
where you had chatted. I found where you had chatted earlier, so I just made you a mod. So next time you come into the YouTube chat, you'll be a mod, okay? And then you
I'm so excited.
and you can
I'm
handle
in
your
the
business.
club. Yeah, I'm in the club.
Yay. So,
I'll pat
okay.
myself on the back. Ooh, yeah. Okay, let me put this in the chat. I'm tripping. Okay, all right.
Melinda got it for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much, Melinda.
We got it.
We're gonna have to connect. We're gonna have to connect because I'm down for it. Let's go.
Absolutely. All right, gang. We're gonna roll this one off so I can get some rest and decide when that I'm coming tomorrow. This week, though, this is what will be happening. So when you guys sign up for the membership, Creators of the Heart membership, you're going to get LLO, so Lightworker Liftoff VIP for free. And then not this weekend, but the following weekend, I'm going to be doing a meditation masterclass that's going to be probably about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Oh wow.
It might
Okay.
even roll into 4, where I'll be teaching you guys all of my meditation hacks.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Now that's going to be a paid class.
Okay.
Okay. But for
Got it.
those of you that join the memberships, you're this, by midday tomorrow or end of day tomorrow, if I decide to extend it, you're going to be able to get that for free as well. Okay.
That's really awesome.
So,
Ain't mad at that.
I can't make it any nicer. And I've said I'll still extend it even to today. The first 10 people that sign up from today, and I can see your days from now. When you signed up, the first 10 people that sign up will get an Akashic record reading from me for free.
Excuse me.
That's $250. So you got like about $500 of free content or freebies or value already that I've rolled into this one offer. That's how much I believe in y'all coming into these memberships and allowing me to work with you. Okay?
That's awesome.
And being a part of the tribe and the creation that we are creating.
That's right. Our tribe. Yep. Yes.
That's how much I
Yes.
really believe in that. So I want y'all to come on and we will have our first monthly meeting. I'm planning on it being this Friday, and I'll have it at 2 different days, one in the morning, one in the evening. So my European folks, you guys will be able to come join us for that morning as well. And then
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
start my membership lives here, but then you all will come and be able to come into the Zoom separately. Okay. So it doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that.
What you're doing is awesome. I don't care. I think it's great. Oh my gosh. We have to celebrate each other. To celebrate women of color, women, period. It is time. We have to unite and recharge and bring the energy that I know we have. I know it's there. I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, if we came together like the Care Bears and just had all the energy, that's how we can do it. That's what women have been doing for centuries. Changing the game. I'm telling you, I chose violence this morning.
You chose the divine feminine. That's what you chose.
Oh, okay. I call it that.
That's what you chose. All right, guys. I'm gonna let y'all get on out of here because I'll see
night,
y'all
everybody.
at some point for the astrology. Since I heard that's what y'all need. So I'll be a good girl and I'll do that. So we'll see y'all for the astrology, and I'll try to come on for another panel discussion or something tomorrow evening as well. We're gonna keep doing these. And then I'll let y'all know as soon as I start Elevated Media, because I think over there I'm also on this thing. Guys, go download an app called the Wisdom app.
Okay.
And it is free. It is like a spiritual clubhouse.
Oh.
Now they
That's
haven't
fancy.
so that you can bring multiple people up yet. But I am. Good night, dream catchers.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
I am like an early adopter, top mentor person on there. So go to there, look for Heart of Inspiration. I'm Heart of INSP everywhere, y'all. If you ever want to find me, just look me up like that. And so I want y'all to get on there if you can. There's a lot of really cool people, other mentors and things that I have met already on there. And so I'm just starting to do talks on there because I don't have to put on makeup or do my hair. And that's a beautiful thing sometimes. So I'm starting to do more talks over there. What I'm going to do is, for those of you who aren't on the app, I'm going to take that audio and I'm actually going to start putting it over there on Elevated Media. So you'll be able to listen to that in case you haven't found the app yet. So there's all these beautiful ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who said good night? Oh, good night. Good night, Christina and Carol, guys. Good night, baby.
Oh, cool. You can sign in with your Google. I like that part.
You can sign in with your Google. It's for Android or for Apple. So
Okay.
either one.
Thank you so much. I always have a good time. Thank you so much. Melinda, I think you're so sweet. And I just thank y'all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Same
you.
here. Thank
You have a good energy. I don't, just like Lisa said earlier, I don't think we would be having this conversation or discussing anything or connecting in any way if the energy was bad.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's such a deep thing to it. And I get accused all the time. You gotta go so deep. It is deep. Why can't it be deep? It can be deep and shallow at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me. So I'm gonna get off there. Good night. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Good
Thank
night,
you.
guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, both. I so appreciate you always. Always. All right, guys, we're going to begin to wrap this on up. I thank each and every one of you all for being here. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, honey. All right, gang, I'm going to see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to get it before noon on any time zone. But peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste, y'all.